and embracing it day by day.
Fair enough. This episode's called London to Dubai.
Hey.
Tell him now, bro. Give
London
us a
to
summary, because
Dubai.
we
So
was
obviously got this Instagram story. The young woman went to Dubai to meet her brethren. Well, I don't know if it's a brethren or friend, whatever. And obviously the lifestyle she's living in was nice. She got, okay, cool. This looks nice. Da, 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 da. So she's gone on a date. No, so the guy's showing interest in her. She's gone on a date. He's taking her out, whatever. But at the same time, he's giving her 50k. Yeah. Whatever it was. So she's buying that.
for the date, just to clarify.
I presume so.
Yeah, okay, go on,
presume so.
carry on.
So she's gone on a date. 50k, whatever. She's gone shopping. Like she's like, oh my gosh, like this is luxury. Chanel bags, Versace, Prada, da 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 da. She's like, oh my, this is crazy.
So she's already
spent the money.
the eyes are going like
yeah,
this,
head
bro.
gone,
You
gone,
know,
gone. And also she signed a disclaimer form, which I don't know what the form was said, but
we'll go back
whatever.
to that. Go
Okay,
on.
cool. Boom. So the guy, the guy has picked her up, or the guy's chauffeur, whatever, picked her up.
So basically, it was a security. It was like a bodyguard that took
okay.
her shopping,
Yeah.
handed over an envelope, and she's like, "Oh, pow, this is real dough."
Yeah.
And then the same security bodyguard,
Yeah.
then drove her to a mansion, anticipating that same man. One
guy. But it wasn't one guy. It
Mm-mm.
was 4 guys
Arba,
and a dog.
kalb,
Sir?
Yeah, 4 guys and a dog.
What's
So
a dog in Arabic.
need I say any more?
I'm translating.
sorry. So I need I say any
Hebz
more?
is
Like,
doing
that's-
some translation for us right now.
I can't do sign language.
So yeah, and the rest is history, mate. That's what I wanted to say. It was a mess. I don't want to go into it.
4 man and 1 dog.
4 man and a dog. It was disgusting.
We can't
So-
forget the dog.
It
Can you say
was-
it one more time?
Sorry, 4 guys.
So
and a
she
dog.
And a
got
dog.
beat out, but you do need to say more, because
It was quite intense.
Very.
Would you like me to continue?
Yeah,
Oh,
go on,
you
go on.
elaborate that, 'cause
Basically, she was penetrated in every possible hole. It included doo-doo, urine, vomit, eating and swallowing her own vomit, by all men and the
dog.
And
I bet that dog
yeah.
was a pit, 100%.
No, well.
Okay,
that-
it doesn't really
it
matter.
doesn't mean but
At this
it was
point, it's
what
a
she said.
dog.
It's a dog in it, but yeah. But anyway,
But technically, she was absolutely destroyed. Her soul was
Finished.
sucked in every possible way,
finished.
and
And then
it
the
was
guy
life changing.
throw her in the water,
Oh yeah, he dashed her into the pool
to make her get clean, and then she came out, gave her a towel,
to cover herself.
cover herself up, and
Because
then
modesty is the one.
see you later.
She-
And then and she saw her brethren that night and said, "Lord," like she said, "Oh, like that's how she was the night before." Her friend was exactly how she was, but
But
the night before.
her brethren didn't tell her about
Nope,
this before
nothing,
she went.
nothing.
But I think from our understanding is that the brethren has done this before, not just the one time,
Yeah,
which is why she kind of brought her in to the situation. And it's just like she asked her, why didn't you give me the heads up? Because she anticipated from the story and what she broke down, she anticipated one guy, potentially. She's going to go to Dubai, and this guy showed an interest in her.
Yeah.
And he's this really rich guy. And her friend said, yo, he's
Yeah.
got was it golden balls or something,
Or something, yeah.
which signifies he's a rich guy, basically. And then he's like, oh, I want to take you out and I want to spend on you. So she was like, all right, calm, this is it, yeah. So in order to get the Birkin bags and to do this, I just get to go out for dinner with this guy. Maybe a little something. But then, I'll get the bag.
Here's my problem with it.
Naivety.
Yeah, here's my problem with it. Yeah, in that word exactly. So, you've gone to. She's not from Dubai, obviously. You've gone to a completely different city, country. Like you've gone there
Yeah.
with the intention that you're going to receive 50 grand.
No, she wasn't thinking that.
She didn't realise
She
it was
was
50 grand.
Alright,
She went
okay,
to Dubai
Alright,
for
she's
the
got
Dubai
there.
experience.
She's got there,
Yeah.
and she's been offered 50 grand. Yeah.
Go on.
Now, I'm not in a country where I am. There's a lot of angles to this, so I have to be careful how I word this. But that she's gone to this country, taken the money. I can't lie to you. At that point there, for me, I'm looking at it like you're taking money off a stranger in the country you're not from. You don't know the area. So
You're not from the ends.
how do you even expect to know what's going to
But
happen? You get in a car with someone you don't know who's just giving you 50 grand
Yeah, effectively.
and
yeah.
driven to, like you say, this mansion. I don't know, bruv. Like,
But the reason why someone would go, okay, maybe because to one person, to a lot of people, 50k is nothing. It's light work. So for him to have like a London girl that he can sort of play around with or do whatever and give her 50, to him it's nothing. It's just like giving
It's
like
pocket
50p. Like, here you go, hold this. Like,
Mm.
so I think maybe in her head she's like, oh, this is light work for him, so this is literally going to be like maybe a little bit uncomfortable for a little bit, but it's fine as long as I get the money there. So I think any person that's willing to do a transaction, and everything in life is transactional. When you deep it on like a courting point of view, when it comes to anything, you're effectively doing things in exchange for other things. But this is a clear intention of a sexual transaction. So i.e. you're becoming potentially an escort or a prostitute or both. From when you've agreed to do that, you've already lowered everything about yourself.
Straight.
But the issue is, we live in a time where a lot of women, for younger generations specifically, who are willing to do that because all their friends are now normalizing the situation, which is why her friend was comfortable enough to go, do you know what? Pull up with me to Dubai, man. Get to enjoy the experience.
But again, I feel like everyone knows how social media is already. Yeah, it's a big platform, and you see these things, you hear about these things beforehand. Before you even go anywhere, you hear these things. So she must have. I don't know in it.
But you don't know how real those stories are.
but then
How many influencers do you think online that get blasted?
But
out
you wouldn't
in
know.
Dubai,
But you know,
bro?
I feel like again though, that could happen.
Seriously, bro.
This could have been years ago. It could have happened years ago.
Loads.
But it's not been public. Like it's not been out there. It's been going on for years, but we don't know.
Like like for me, yeah. Like I don't know. I think I haven't been to Dubai, but from the amount it's been rinsed over the years, something's taking it away from me that I don't really want to go there now.
So I was anti going to Dubai. I was like, I'm never gonna go because it's like gonna become a new Ibiza vibe.
Yeah, like it's an
But
everyday thing.
in my head, from what I've seen from my people, it's
Yeah.
just turn up day boat parties, night parties, beach parties. It's all kind of like mansion parties, but it's all like you and your people. Them like it's like there's no nationals there. It's all like foreigners gathering together, expats or whatever. But some women are doing some next trips. You know, when you don't see anything but the plate and you don't see nothing but them alone in a boat. It's just like, yeah, so that guy that's taking pictures is a guy that's about to destroy you or has already destroyed you. But that's a whole different experience. In Dubai, you can have, well, he's destroying her soul and her physically. Whether she enjoys it or not is another situation, and that's a subjective point of view. But so I carry the same point of view. I went to Dubai and I use it as my own disconnect, and I was able to like enjoy the beach. I go sit on Smoky Beach, watch the sunset. It was nice. Go see whoever, mingle. But I could see the lifestyle was real in the sense of if I really wanted to engage in something like that, it's there. It's a safe country, so safe to the point where anything that does happen that's wild is so heavily unnoticed because they got money and power.
Yeah.
And it's not to say that it does happen, because I'm not trying to be written off. I want to move to the UAE. But when it comes to money is a very powerful thing. So the same way you can get women to sell their souls, and probably men as well. I'm sure men have done stuff as well because of social
100%.
pressures to have and look a certain way. They can also silence people or manipulate from when you're signing a disclaimer.
That's the maddest thing. Like,
do you even read the disclaimer? That's the problem. Some people don't read disclaimers.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't read no disclaimers. I just sign.
If you're getting 50k or whatever it is you're getting, you're not thinking about. Anyway, get the money. Let's go.
Man.
Did they mention how old she is?
24.
I watched something. I watched something that Poet.
So
hold
on. She's 24.
What are you gonna say?
Go on. That's what I'm saying.
But you think that though.
But come on.
How old are you? Have you not noticed that the younger women are a bit different than the older ones? That there's a weird generational gap.
I think that women are smarter. They're smarter than men.
They are smarter than men. But do you not feel 100%?
27, 24 or 25-year-old.
There's a leveled up to you. Yeah. But what I mean is when it comes to social media and how everyone's become a slave to fashion and become a slave to society values, I feel like there's a lot more women that are completely like fixated on a certain lifestyle without using their brains.
With respect, that's a choice that they made.
They have, but I feel like I think the lines of social norms and accepted behaviour has been blurred and changed.
No, it's become. I don't think it's been changed. It's definitely been confused. If you live your life on social media, then 100%.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of them do.
But
that's their Bible. Like that's their everything.
But that's a personal choice.
But when your whole circle of friends are like that, so it'll continue to be an extension of your environment.
Change your friends, man.
But it looks like a fun life to have. They're enjoying their lives.
Fun life, but then it's
not as in
Where do you go?
But it's true though. It's true. It sounds cold, but
It's
it's
a
true
lot of
though.
therapy. The 50 grand, she probably wants to sell her bags and go to therapy. So
Because
I'm
she's
not gonna lie.
because she's mentally scarred for life.
She
Either
life.
that or she just becomes a slave to that now. And she goes, you know what? I'm kind of, yeah, it happened already.
Yeah.
I
Do
you
might
know
as
what's
well, I
mad,
might as well
yeah?
stack up and then
yeah.
Mortgage.
ready.
I don't know what's worse. I don't know
Financial
what
freedom.
was worse for her, and I couldn't imagine, depending on how she took the situation and if she even enjoyed it or not. We don't know. She might not have, but I don't know what's worse: the foreman or the dog.
Brother, forget that.
I think it's if it's true, we're gonna say
It's wild.
allegedly because
Yeah.
we don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's just a reflection of how certain men view women
Yeah,
and how they maybe carry other women in different level.
these are men that are gonna have like kids like
They-
one
no,
day.
they probably
if
do
they
have
don't,
kids,
if they you've
and they probably
already,
do have a family,
that's mad.
and this is their little bit of fun that they do with the mandem. So
You can afford when you get to. I mean, I don't know. I'm not rich, but like. but I feel
humble.
like when you go like when you see rich people's houses on TV, you see that they've got this like dumb statue that costs like 200
That's
pounds,
how you know you're rich,
right?
Yeah,
Because after a while, after you've paid off your house and, and your bills are patterned and your kids' trust fund is sorted, now it's time to live out your fantasy, right? Which comes onto this really dark shit.
But I feel like when you're that rich, you end up doing dark stuff if you're not humbled. Like whether it's by faith or you're by your family or your environment, there's levels. Like how much more wilder can we get? Let's get a lion for fun and have it in our garden. That's what
wild.
they
Yeah.
do.
See
see
Do
the
you know
man,
what I mean?
see the man that
It's-
there
it's-
playing
it's
with
true,
lions.
it's
I'm
true
or
though.
saying,
ru-
I'm that rich.
It's true though.
You know,
Where would you get it from? Like you said that. Where you saw that?
it's not even a borrowing situation. It's like, no, I want to buy one.
Where do you cop a lion? Do you know where to cop a lion?
eBay.
Oh, yeah, bro. Like, I think it's absolutely insane.
Yeah,
I'm not really a judgmental guy, so I can't think. What
we can't judge. Yeah,
they were
yeah.
thinking or what they were on.
Maybe they needed the money.
Maybe they needed the bread, but at the same time, bro, like when the disparity, the financial disparity between somebody who's like minimum wage or like
A regular
minimum
don.
wage
Yeah.
and somebody who's super rich, yeah. If you're looking at them and thinking, I want that, yeah, and you want to get there in
In
6
0
months,
to 100, yeah.
like you're going to have to do some really dark and nasty.
Some wild stuff.
Like,
That's
you
true.
can't sell yourself.
And that's what it is. And I think, but people would say, oh no. But some women will say, we've discussed this so many times. Oh no, I feel empowered doing what I'm doing because I'm stacking and I'm doing and seeing, you know, a guy, why have sex for free when I could get paid for it?
Yeah,
And it's like, it's amazing how you manage to convince yourself that this is okay. Like that we've changed the narrative, society's changing
but
the
you don't
narrative
need
so
to go
much.
abroad to find that. You know,
No, but
you
it's
don't
Go.
need to go
tax,
abroad to
bro.
find that. You can
That's what I'm
find that
saying.
down
No,
the
but-
road.
But down the road is different than getting beach bags.
Yes, and
bowls
munchins
and-
It's
and
not that
hella
different.
dough.
You just
No,
get
but-
taken
No.
Westfield,
No, but
spend bread.
it's not the same. Bro.
Westfield
It's
is not the
bro.
same as
It's not
the
the same,
Bay
bro.
Mall,
You're
They
in
my
the
buy
friend.
you out
whatever.
Westfield.
No, but it's not
At
the same.
Palm,
Bro. It's not the
nah,
same.
nah,
It's not the same.
But here it's worse. I'll tell you why. In the sense of, I'm not going to say it's worse here. I'm going to say how, because it's bad here as well. That's something we need to identify. In here is genuinely older guys, if it does happen, that are taking up girls who are young enough to be.
But I think there's a difference in grooming. I think that's grooming and
yeah.
paedophilia.
Grooming of a legal, like
fantasies.
they're legal age, say like 18, but the
Yeah.
bread's like 35.
Yeah.
Two different mindsets they're on completely. She's easily pleased.
Influenced,
Like
yeah.
it goes back to that thing of, you know, them breas that were like 10 years older but would drive around and pick up like girls who were like much younger than them because the
Uniform,
girl
yeah.
thought they were cool driving a
But
car.
also when we're young, we think we're bad, man. I thought no guy is on my wave that's my age. Like I need to be flexing with someone much older than me. And the older guys is like, it's safe. Come here. I got you.
It's the power dynamic, it's the manipulative, all of that kind of stuff is in this country. But the reality is in this country, you can't escape your reality.
In Dubai, you're in your own bubble.
You're gonna see your friends next week. You're gonna go cinema.
Real
you're gonna go
talk.
to work. You can't escape from that reality. In Dubai,
You can be what you want.
Anything, bro. No one knows you.
CRB,
Yeah.
Literally. That's it. And when you come back to London,
You can go Dubai, come back with peas. No one knows
No
how
one
you
knows
got them
nothing.
peas.
but
No one know how you
no
got
one
that.
even needs to know you got peas.
Exactly.
you can just go back to what you just told me.
But the problem is, the reality is these women want to flash off their material items because whether you want to admit it, in me, like when it comes to music, when it comes to social media, all they talk about is materialistic things. And now we live in a generation where people are willing to kill each other. Them are willing to kill each other over money. They're willing to kill each other over whatever, over women. Women are willing to sell their souls over this. And it's all because of the social media concept of what you should be owning right now in your 20 youngish age, rather than let's pace yourself and stack and be smart.
Do you see?
Wanting like earning value for money. Like I don't know about you guys. I started working at 17.
Yeah,
As
same.
soon as I was able to work, I
Same,
started
bro.
working.
I had no choice though. Mum said not staying in the house.
Super early.
Yeah, she's
Had to
smart.
learn it. It was part time, whatever, man.
No,
I had to
but
work.
they're probably working. Some of them are working. Some of them are entitled. There's an entitled mindset of younger generation who goes, I should have a man. And that's why you have all these women on social media getting all Twitter friendly or keyboard like warrior excited, thinking I should be entitled with man. This. But they don't even know as a woman that what you should bring to the table.
Yeah, but the worst thing
they don't
is
understand their own purpose as a woman.
the worst thing is, from the ones I've seen on Twitter that say that sort of thing, most of them are. I'm 27, so most of them are that age. So it's not like they're 20, 19. These are like 25, 26, 27
But that's why
year olds.
I attract a lot of younger guys. They're like, listen, I can't chat to women my age. They're like, like their mindset is completely different. Like, which restaurant you're going to take me to, how much you're going to spend on me. It's like literally there's no substance. And I think maybe deep down inside these women want the substance, but for some reason something's driving them to pure shallow materialistic things. And it's like, I worry because you got to raise children at some point. Like, what values are you going to bring in? Like, what kind of cycle is this like turning into? Because you're going to tell your daughter, oh yeah, go and see. I was going to use an Arabic name, but I'm not trying to write myself off right now. Go see Kevin. he'll hook you up with like dough. It's as long. But like as in like she'll probably go, oh, it's fine. As long as you get your bag and leave. Like,
So I'm saying that's
because if she sees that it's normal and you're getting yours. And you're protecting your future by doing a little something of a man. From when your mum could be saying that, because these are the women, they're the new generation of women who are empowering themselves with these stupid decisions.
It's mental.
And it's
See,
like
my generation, I think, from what I've grown up and seen, is the last maybe, and it won't be the last. There'll always be young parents about, for example. But for me, anyone that I grew up around or knew that had kids and then unfortunately broke up with their partners or whatnot. But do you know what? Yeah, I'll be real with you. 80% of them were more sound than other people I knew who weren't in that situation 5 years down the line. Because they had to deal with that there and then. They got a baby now, and then do you get what I mean?
Up,
like, yeah.
But I think there's a general. Do you know, like they say, like everything recycles itself. So like fashion recycles itself.
Yeah.
I can't go back to boot cuts, bruv. I can't.
Don't do it. But what I was gonna say, but I think also, do you know you always have like a bad year in every school? Like the year 9s were the worst, but then the next year 9s are a bit more sensible. So there's a constant recycling of behaviour. I mean, probably yours every single year is terrible.
Every year in my school was horrible, bro.
But what I mean is,
Rookseath High School.
He's like that. Yeah, but I think it is going to happen. So for example, I'm raising my young king, and then, like, God willing, inshallah, I can raise him well enough where he'll have certain things where he'll raise his children okay. But then it's like, what about the other women who are similar to my age or a little bit younger? How are they going to raise their kids? So there's always going to be that little gap of wild children, and those wild children will raise other wild children unless they have that momentary reflection of, what is life? What am I doing? Let me go turn to God.
I have to ask you, and you as well. See when, and I think I'll ask you this as well. See when, if you, so say for example, you started seeing someone, now, I know you're not big on social media, and I know social media isn't the pinnacle of everything.
He's got 3 accounts.
Their bios, and everything they do, you can see they're just going back and forth to Dubai, London, Dubai, London.
Why Dubai though? Why Dubai?
Bro, because a lot of, I'm just saying, I'm using it as an example because of what we've been speaking about.
Go on.
So for you, would you have any doubts about that person if they continuously making them?
I've been to Dubai twice
trips?
This year. Everyone's suspect about me. It's so much jokes.
But
I'll definitely be inquisitive.
yeah, of course you're gonna.
You won't be naive enough to
But
just see
you're
it.
gonna think raw, like you're going to Dubai a lot though.
And then you're seeing the pictures on boats, parties, but
Yeah,
then they could be
that's
with their
enough,
friends.
That's enough.
They could be with their friends.
There's,
It's
there's only
true,
a handful of women that can afford that lifestyle. And
Yeah,
when they go out
and
with the girls and they're similar caliber and they're celebrating themselves.
Yeah.
That's a
I'll be
minority.
thinking,
Yeah, unfortunately.
there's something on for right there.
Then she nice to you, and you gotta believe it. You gotta believe that she's telling you the truth. You have to go out on a whim in that kind of
That's the thing. You got to allow some sort of trust, but then I think generally speaking, you'll kind of pick up energies and you'll kind
Anything,
of
yeah.
get an
Little
idea.
things. There's little things, yeah. Little things.
For sure. Just before I go, I have to go. But
How dare you?
you mentioned this a little bit in your thing, but I really think that the world has gone to shit simply because people don't fear God, bro.
Yeah.
Like they've forgotten.
Yeah. They think they're so attached to the dunya, that they're so attached to this world that they've forgotten that we're here temporarily, and therefore there's nothing to fear besides will I get caught? Will I get caught out? Will I be exposed? How much can I get away with?
100.
And then people feeling a bit invincible, and that invincibleness is very humbling because we've had lives lost, we've had women exposed, and yeah.
I genuinely think it's the fear of God. Nobody fears God, so they do what the fuck they want. I literally sometimes, bro, like I'm thinking to do a mad thing or whatever, and then like
It's a humbling moment, no?
and you're like, ooh. These times I'm thinking my auntie's watching me the whole time, bro.
Yeah, it's mad. You know the one? It's true though.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
When you pull up to them gates and he brings out the record and he clicks on that MP4, yeah, double clicks it and it comes up and you're walking into that yard and the dog's looking at you.
Where's the
And
camera?
you're just like, oh shit, you know about that? And he looks at you and goes, brother. Yes.
24 hours CCTV.
Yeah, bro, man's on you.
HD recording.
I know, then what, bro?
Yeah, and the thing is, and it's, the reality is that we all go through a journey, innit? So we all do things we're not proud of. You've done stuff you're not proud of. You've done stuff you're not proud of. But then it's that having that humbling moment, and not everyone gets to that humbling moment. And if they do, it's like maybe their state is way too far gone that they feel that there's no point trying to be humble.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee you'll live to feel that humble because you're so caught up in that. And I think that applies a lot more with young boys, like the way they're moving as well. Just feeling that they can play God and just take someone's life out.
Like,
For what? For over what?
Yeah, like
Well, that's been like that for
Yeah,
donkeys
but
years.
I'll wait
No,
to discuss it with my
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Because I feel like social media has made everything hypersensitive, hyper insta. So the reason why kids are moving different today, why women are moving different, why boys are moving different, is because everything's overly exposed. So on Snapchat, you'll bring someone out, and like people in jail are doing TikToks. Like everything has changed. Before you knew, man, them are in jail.
Yeah.
They'll sneak in a phone, and it's cool. You'll get the odd phone call. We don't talk about. Now everything's being patterned differently. Everything's being exposed differently. People are being rated for doing what they're doing in every different. Like everyone's being celebrated for their sins, and I'm gonna be like very haram and halal about it. But we are celebrating sins. We're celebrating women exploiting themselves. We're celebrating them doing a madness to kidnap someone's mum, to do whatever. Why are we celebrating all this stuff?
Do you know what though? And this is an unpopular opinion, and people don't want to say it, but I'm not. It's not just one genre of music, but certain music is influencing kids as well. And I'm not just talking. No. I'm not just talking about just drill. I'm saying, depending on what you listen to and who you listen to, not necessarily it has a genre, but rappers as well. People like, for example, do you know what I saw? Like, no joke. This was about 6-7 months ago on YouTube. So there was a drill video, and it was I can't remember what area they were from, but they'd killed someone. They filmed it, and they were dancing on their grave.
Yeah, I'm not.
But but the thing is, the reality, music.
And this is what they were putting up online.
But music influences everyone.
For like young kids to see.
But they're stupid because that's evidence for the police. Because y'all stupid, you'll get caught.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, music does influence in every possible way. Like I listen to I can go from like Adele to Abracadabra, and I'll be like, hey, what? And I'm talking like I'm bad man. I'm like, okay, humble, innit? You're gonna go home to your mum.
The way your brain works is that when you're listening to the music and the lyrics, you're not seeing it as a reality for you.
Kind of, because I can be listening to freaky deaky music, and I'm like, hey.
As when I say reality to you, you're not going to be like, okay, Abracadabra's talking about pull up.
Yeah,
It's been that coupe,
that's it.
and you're not there like, you see it up, you're like,
This is it on
Yeah,
site.
no, it's true,
But
it's
if
true.
I was in that world and I'm listening to that kind of music, I'm getting gassed.
but why are you in that world? A lot of these guys.
Because a lot of boys are just exposed to it by default sometimes, just by being in certain environments.
Sure, but most
Please don't say older because they're probably around my age. But carry on.
But a lot of the olders, like, they didn't really have a choice. They
Mm.
weren't good in school.
Yeah.
Or let me even put this: school wasn't for them.
Yeah.
No, because a lot of them are, bro. How you running a multi-thousand million?
Yeah.
Whatever.
The
Like
maths
doing
math in there,
geography.
but it's not math in
In
the curriculum. Yeah.
School's never been for a lot of people. It was never for me. I just somehow
Coasted.
So.
Yeah. 100.
But yeah, like they for them it wasn't really a choice. Some of
Yeah.
these kids have a 2-parent home. You know what I'm saying? They've got bread. They get Air Forces whenever they want. You can get the newest tracks. Their parents are with them on Cortez when it drops. To buy the shit that they want. And you're still going out with a knife. You're still going out thinking you want to sell drugs because you think it's cool. A lot of these man, they do it because they didn't really have a choice. They grew up in poverty.
Yeah.
A lot of them grew up in poverty, may I add.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clearly the biggest rapper.
Mm.
And I can also point at Lowski where he says, like, bro, this isn't, like, it's not real. He's saying it's not real, it's not real. Whether you believe it or not, if man's telling you it's not real, but you want to take it and do it yourself. You don't see me standing in the middle of the road doing this because I watched Doctor Strange trying to get through a portal.
I was thinking, what the hell's happening here?
You know
but that
when
makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the opposite, yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
But that's the furthest from reality for you.
Mm.
But listening to Lowski or someone else is more relatable to most.
It's relatable, but it's not your reality.
No, 100%.
It's not, but I'm sure it's close enough of a reality. So they witnessed it themselves or they've heard about it themselves. But I think another thing with that, which is your guy still coming?
Yeah, he is. We've got to wrap up soon. Sorry. Literally
Okay,
2 minutes.
We'll save.
Yeah, we will do. Yeah, 2 and 2.
Because the reason why I'm saying, because there's some stuff I want to talk about, which I think is more relatable.
Yeah,
with
we'll
him.
do that
Yeah,
for that.
that's cool.
Yeah, save it.
Because a lot of single mothers.
Sounds very rude, but save it. Yeah.
Hush him out, woman. All right, say no more.
But yeah, follow the socials. Waffletop PC
London
for
to Dubai.
Instagram. Huh?
London to Dubai.
London, yeah, episode's called London to Dubai.
But just for the record, Dubai is also a beautiful place to be in.
Yeah,
Abu Dhabi is also beautiful, but
If you don't want to hit,
Just
link
don't-
us up for promos. Yeah. No dogs.
I didn't even know the dogs. I've not seen dogs in the UAE
Yeah.
from my experiences.
That's mental.
Hebz, shout your socials out, man.
I am Hebz with Z on Instagram and Mama Hebz on YouTube. And my podcast, which has taken a very long pause, Growing Up British with 2 H's. Yeah, that's me.
Say less.
Waffletop PC for Instagram and then Waffletop Podcast for Anchor and Spotify.
What he said.